Hi students, I'm Dr. Bhavana. In this lecture, we are going to continue with the topic called as human health and diseases. So already in the last class, we have seen about what are the different types of immunity. That is nothing but innate immunity as well as acquired immunity. I'll just revise the topic for those who have missed the last class. So immunity means nothing but whenever we are protecting the body, like whenever a pathogen is entering our body, something should fight against it, right? That is nothing but our immune system only which play an important role. How it fights, like it produces numerous antibodies against the pathogens and it will act and help in protecting our body against the numerous diseases as well as infectious agents. So basically there are two types of immunity. They are nothing but innate immunity as well as acquired immunity. When you start with that of innate immunity is usually that is present at the birth as well as it is a non-specific type of defense. That is, you are not able to differentiate which pathogen will cause the disease. So it is usually non-specific type of defense. When it comes to it is specific type of defense. It is what is specific type? It is acquired immunity. It is based on the memory. That is, you are able to differentiate. That is, before maybe in the later years you will occur with this acquired immunity. Innate immunity means which is present at birth. Acquired means in the later years you will acquire. Non-specific, specific. These are the two important points that you should remember. When it comes to memory means it is nothing but acquired immunity. Then later we have seen what are the four barriers which are associated with that of innate immunity. They are nothing but physical, physiological, then cytokine and cellular. Two C's and physical, two P's. So physical barriers means nothing but by name only everything you should understand. Skin as well as respiratory lining, mucosal lining of the epithelium and all of the respiratory tract, urinogenital tract will come under physical, that is exposed to the outside environment. When it comes to physiological means nothing but body fluids. That is nothing but tears from the eyes as well as from the acid in the stomach, mucus in the saliva are physiological. Cellular barriers, they are nothing but cells like RBCs, WBCs and all. When it comes to cytokine barriers, this is the important neat question which they will ask. That is virus infected cells. They will secrete a protein that is called as interferon which will protect the non-virus infected cells. For protecting the non-virus infected cells only, this virus infected cells will secrete a protein that is nothing but interferons. That point is very important. So we are done with innate immunity. When it comes to acquired immunity, what we have seen? Like we have seen about acquired immunity means which is acquired in the later stages. So there are two responses which are produced. Primary, secondary. Primary response means what? When the pathogen is encountered for the first time, the response that is produced by the body, it is called as primary response. If it is for the second time, same pathogen for the second time, here the clarity should be there that same pathogen if it is exposed for the second time, then it is called as secondary response. These two responses are mediated by two lymphocytes. That is nothing but B as well as B and T lymphocytes. So B lymphocytes usually play a very important role in that of humoral immunity, whereas T lymphocytes play an important role in cell-mediated immunity. So these are the 2 points that you should remember. B lymphocytes, humoral immunity, T lymphocytes, cell-mediated immunity. And B lymphocytes will produce antibodies only. Antibodies are only required, right? To protect against the infectious agents, antibodies are required. Whereas these T lymphocytes will help these B lymphocytes. There should be something for helping, right? So B lymphocytes will produce antibodies, but T lymphocytes usually play an important role in helping these B lymphocytes to produce antibodies. So B and T act together to produce numerous antibodies which are very important. Then later, what is the structure of antibody we have seen? Simple to remember, two heavy chains, two light chains. Now they will ask in Neet whether heavy chains are longer or light chains are longer. Simple question. Heavy means you can remember it as heavy one. The bigger ones are heavy ones. So they are the lengthy. As well as nowadays in Neet they are asking diagrams also. See, they'll give you like this. Which is light chain and which is heavy chain, they'll ask you to identify. So this one which is longer, that is heavy chains. And how many they are there? There are two. When it comes to light chains, how many they are there? Two. So H2L2 you will give. H2L2. And we have seen what are the 5 different types of antibodies. We have seen GAME. I asked you to remember like game, as well as another antibody D. So gamed, you can remember like that. IgG is specified before it. IgG is nothing but immunoglobulin which is present. So gamed. So Ig 5 antibodies, these are the main, which will help in causing, which antibodies are produced when you are suffering from some allergy. That is nothing but E. If suppose from the mother what you acquire, it is nothing but A. So these two you should remember in Neat point of view. Later, for the graft rejections and all, I have told you, if a person is suffering from heart failure and everything, the person will have the ability to transplant the organs from the different persons. But two criteria I have told you, that is nothing but blood group should match, as well as tissue matching also should be done. So blood group matching, tissue matching is very much essential. Then later, next another important point that you should remember is nothing but immunosuppressants. The person is given with immunosuppressants to suppress the immune system, and then only everything will act against it. That's why the patient will be able to survive, but the patient should take immunosuppressants for the full lifetime. He should take immunosuppressants. So that is one important point that you should remember. So this is about the B as well as T lymphocytes. Then next, we have done with the, what is the two types of immunity, that is innate immunity as well as acquired immunity. Now we will see what is active immunity, passive immunity. There are again we have seen, we have seen innate immunity, acquired. Innate means during birth, acquired means in the later stages. Again, there is another classification for that of immunity. It is nothing but active immunity as well as passive immunity. Immunity is usually active immunity as well as passive immunity. So active immunity means what? Active immunity, see, when a host is exposed to pathogens, that is we hosts, when we are exposed to some different types of pathogens, it may be living or dead, then an immunity which will develop in our body by on our own, if immunity is developed, it is called as active immunity. Simple to remember. See, active means the immune system is very active in us. Like you can remember, like if a person is affected with some pathogen, like some pathogen is entering our body, then immunity will be developed. I told you there is some antibodies will be produced naturally by the host. Then it is called as active immunity. In our body, I have told you, like antibodies are produced to fight against the antigens. In the last class we have discussed, like antigens are produced. Antigens means what? Foreign substances. Then antibodies means what? Which are produced by that of individual. So antigens are usually produced by the like antigens are entering our body, then there should be something which will help us to protect from these antigens. They are nothing but, I told you, antibodies. So active immunity means what? Active immunity means nothing but it will play a very important role in protecting against the diseased organisms. Means antibodies are produced naturally by the host. Antibodies are produced naturally by host. This is active immunity. When it comes to passive immunity, it is nothing but antibodies are produced artificially. That is, we will induce the artificial antibodies. If they are produced naturally, it is called as active immunity. If we are giving to some person, if we are injecting the antibodies, it is called as passive immunity. Antibodies are produced or given artificially. This is naturally. That is as well as passive immunity. When you say it as example for that of active immunity, it is nothing but immunization as well as infection. Simple to remember is nothing but, if you are getting so much confused regarding this, you can easily remember like immunization, infection. Then you can easily remember like I and I. Two I's are related to that of active immunity. Simple. If see in infection, suppose pathogen is entering the body. If you are suffering from some infection, then the body will produce naturally, it will produce antibodies. So that's why it is classified under active immunity. And immunization. Immunization means nothing but we are taking the pathogens from the different, we are activating the pathogens. Immunization means what? Some pathogen is given into our body, dead or living. Then the body is producing antibodies naturally. So this will also will come under active immunity only. But when it comes to passive immunity, the most common example is from the mother. The yellowish colored fluid which is secreted is nothing but colostrum. The yellowish colored fluid which is secreted from the mother during lactation, during initial few days of lactation, colostrum, which is yellowish colored fluid, is secreted from the mother to give to the fetus. So when it is given to the fetus will get antibodies. They are nothing but IgA antibodies. Just now I have specified the 5 different types of antibodies that are nothing but GAMED I have specified. So what is the role of immunoglobulin A? What I have told you, it is nothing but it is secreted from mother during initial stages of lactation. So they are given to the mother. So from the mother to the fetus they are transferred. So now they are produced or given artificially to the fetus. The fetus is not getting on its own. It is giving through artificial stages. So that is passive immunity. Most common example is from the mother to the fetus. The antibodies which are produced is nothing but IgA. And through placenta also some antibodies are given. Through placenta. Through placenta also some antibodies are given. Through placenta also some antibodies are transferred from the mother to the fetus. Another antibodies. These are during only lactation and only IgA bodies are transferred through colostrum of the milk. But through placenta still IgG and all are transferred from mother to fetus. If they are transferred means what? They are injected artificially. So that is called as passive immunity. So main two differences you should remember, because in Neet They will ask regular questions based on this aspect, meaning what is active immunity and what are the examples which are related, what is passive immunity and what are examples related. Don't get so much confused. Only one point which you should remember, that is nothing but active immunity means what? Which is antibodies are produced naturally by the host, means from our body only the antibodies are produced when some pathogen is entering our body. So during infection, when pathogen will enter our body, antibodies are produced naturally. And when immunization is given, that is vaccination or immunization is given to the patient, then also antibodies are produced naturally. So these both immunization to eyes as well as infection to eyes, I like alphabet I, are classified under active immunity. When it comes to passive immunity, they are nothing but antibodies are produced or given artificially. Passive immunity, that is how they are injected artificially, like through colostrum of the milk. Milk is yellowish colored fluid that is secreted during initial days of lactation. The colostrum is given, and then the colostrum is transferred from mother to fetus. In this colostrum only basically IgA antibodies are present. Then later through placenta also, when before the delivery, like exactly before the delivery of the baby, through placenta also numerous antibodies are transferred from the mother to the fetus. So this is the examples of active as well as passive immunity. Read 2 times so that it will be very easy for you. So these are the different. So we have seen immunity is classified under 4 types. That is nothing but active immunity, passive immunity, then later innate immunity and acquired immunity. So this is about that. Then next we have seen about vaccination and immunization. Vaccination and immunization. Vaccination and immunization means nothing but what is vaccination and immunization from that of the person. So vaccination and immunization means when numerous antibodies, see, vaccination and immunization are based only on one principle. It is nothing but memory of the immune system. On this memory only, this is the basic principle for that of vaccination and immunization. That is, if the vaccine is given to us, how it will be given? The pathogen in the living stages or in the dead pathogens are injected into our body artificially. Then when they are injected, pathogens are injected, not antibodies, be clear. When pathogens are injected, antibodies will be produced by the host. So numerous antibodies are produced. So these antibodies will protect from fighting against infectious diseases when it occurs for the next time. When pathogen second time again it is entering for our body, then this will play a very important role, because once already antibodies are produced. So for the second time also antibodies are very important for them. So next time also it will able to recognize the antigens. So it will act like that. The second thing is fastly B memory cells as well as T cells. Memory B and T cells. Memory B and T cells also will play a very important role in this vaccination procedure. Like fastly these cells will be secreted. Normally if some pathogen will enter our body, it will take some days for the B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes to recognize the antigen, and then it will produce antibodies. But here when you take vaccination for anything, then these antibodies are produced very fastly, because the B cells as well as T cells, the memory cells which are present, they will act very fastly and they will help in stopping against the infectious diseases. So this is the main role of vaccination. Only one thing, don't get confused. Vaccination or immunization is same only, but both are based on same principle. It is nothing but memory of the cells is very important here. Then antibodies are produced naturally, as well as memory and B and T cells play a very important role. These are the 2 points which you should remember when it comes to vaccination and immunization. Generally, tetanus. Tetanus is a disease which you acquire from the soil. For farmers and all, tetanus is very common disease which they will acquire. So before only, if they take immunization and all, for them no need of no need to get worried about that, because the pathogen is injected for them before only. So the body will produce natural antibodies, as well as during snake bites also. Numerous snakes will be seen in rural areas. If you are infected with snake bite also, before only the snake, we know if it is introduced into the body before only, next time it will be not harmful for you. So that is nothing but this full immunization is called as. Most common example that is specified in your Neet textbook is nothing but tetanus as well as snake bite. Tetanus, snake bite. So these two will play an important role for that of immunization, tetanus and snake bite. Then later, another important point which you should remember is during this tetanus as well as snake bite, this full immunization procedure is called as passive immunization. Passive immunization. We say it as passive immunization because sometimes antibodies are injected artificially also for protecting against the tetanus as well as snake bite. Diphtheria, for tetanus, DPT vaccine we say. We take numerous polio vaccines and all. Why these all vaccines are taken? Basically, these vaccines are taken to protect against the foreign substances which enter our body. Before only, we are taking vaccination so that if some disease will come in the later stages, it will not be very harmful for you. The antibodies, once they are produced, and they will recognize and they will remember. That is, memory B cells and T cells will play a very important role. This is only the role of the vaccination. So tetanus, snake bite as well as this full immunization procedure is also called as passive immunization. That point you should remember. Then later, numerous rDNA technologies, recombinant DNA technologies and all are also taking place nowadays. See, for suppose from numerous bacteria or numerous fungi only, we are able to produce numerous vaccines on large scale. These vaccines are produced on large scale because it should be available for the entire human population. So basically, we can't take so much risk to produce these vaccines. So the simple way is rDNA technology. That is rDNA technology. It means what? From numerous bacteria as well as fungi, these are vaccines are produced and they will play. Suppose for example, hepatitis B vaccine, which will everyone will take, hepatitis B. Hepatitis B vaccine, which is usually taken. Usually it spreads mostly among the doctors. That is, hepatitis B vaccine will spread among the doctors through numerous saliva and all. So hepatitis B vaccine is usually taken by numerous doctors to protect from numerous diseases. So hepatitis B, it is usually, this vaccine is produced from that of yeast. is usually produced from that of yeast. Yeast is also fungi, right? From bacteria or some fungi, these are produced. So this is about the different vaccination as well as immunization procedures. Simple, no need to get confused regarding this. It is nothing but memory is the principal role of vaccination or immunization. That is nothing but antibodies as well as memory B and T cells. Antibodies which are produced naturally play a very important role. Then memory B and T cells also will play a very important role. Next, tetanus as well as snake bite. Tetanus and snake bite. These are the most common examples for that of passive immunization. This full procedure is passive immunization. Before only you are administering the vaccine, that is the pathogens are injected into your body. For first time antibodies are produced. Then later whenever if you are infected also it is not harmful. So this is the principal role of vaccination. Then how these vaccines are produced on a large scale? Through rDNA technology, and the most common example for vaccines which are produced by the bacteria as well as fungi are nothing but hepatitis B, which everyone of us will take. That vaccine is usually produced by that of yeast. So this will play a very important role in that of protecting against the numerous infectious diseases. So this is about the vaccination and immunization. Then next, another important topic is allergies. Another important topic is allergies. Suppose we humans, if we go to some place, suddenly we start sneezing or wheezing or your difficulty in breathing. Why all this will happen? This will all happen due to allergy that is produced in your body. Allergy means, what is the exact definition of that of allergy? Exaggerated immune response due to some specific antigens which will enter our body. Exaggerated immune response produced by the body. Exaggerated immune response which is produced by the body is nothing but allergy due to presence of antigen or pathogens. Suddenly in the environment, numerous pathogens will be there. Numerous pathogens and all will be present in the environment. That's why when you go to some places, suddenly you start sneezing and all. Numerous will be there, like dust, pollen and all. Dust, pollen. See, for many of the people nowadays, our immune system is getting very weak. So we are more susceptible to allergies from numerous dust, as well as on the flowers pollen will be there. They are also very causing so much of allergy for us. So when this allergy is caused, basically, what are the type of antibodies which are activated? I already have specified it. IgA is for mother. IgE. Antibodies are activated due to allergy. And what are the symptoms which you see for that of allergy? What are the symptoms? Is nothing but suddenly you will get cold. You start sneezing, wheezing, difficulty in breathing. Difficulty in breathing. Sometimes asthma also. Asthma and all are caused. Why they are caused? Asthma and all due to these numerous allergies only they are caused. So that's why when there is exaggerated immune response which is produced, then you will have all these symptoms and our immune system will become very weak, and these IgE antibodies are produced and they will fight against the allergies. But sometimes they also can't fight and we will be susceptible to diseases like asthma. Then another important point which you should remember is how is this allergy produced? This is produced by mast cells. Mast cells are present in our body. They secrete histamine and serotonin. Mast cells secrete histamine and serotonin, which play a very important role in transferring like numerous diseases which are related. So they will secrete a substance that is called as histamine and serotonin. So they will play an important role in this allergy. So basically how this should be prevented? It should be prevented by taking antihistamines, because histamine only is causing this allergy. So if you take antihistamine, that is sufficient. So antihistamines and all should be taken, or immunosuppressants should be taken to suppress the immune system which is causing the allergy. So this is about the topic called as allergy. Simple, no need to get so much confused. In Neet, with this definition they will ask, that's why I'm stressing. Exaggerated immune response due to some pathogen which is entering our body. It is nothing but allergy. What are the symptoms which are associated? Cold, sneezing, wheezing, difficulty in breathing in severe cases. You may need to ask them also. These are the symptoms. What are the antibodies which are produced due to allergy? They are nothing but IgE antibodies. What are those which cause allergy? That are nothing but dust as well as pollen. Then which part of the body will secrete this histamine and serotonin? Secreted by mast cells. Whenever we are exposed to allergy, then mast cells will get activated and they secrete histamine as well as serotonin. How to prevent this? Antihistamines are taken and they are prevented from again to cause allergy. Antihistamines are given to prevent the cause of allergy. Antihistamines are given because histamine only is causing the disease. So this is about the, today we have done what is immunity, different types of immunity, acquired immunity, innate immunity, their examples. Then vaccination, immunization procedures we have seen. Then about the topic which is called as allergy we have seen. So next we are going to continue in the next class about the what are the specific immune responses which are produced by the body, which are the organs which play an important role in these immune responses, as well as we will discuss about the another topic that is called as AIDS. Okay.